How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here back once again to give you another Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War episode review. We are at part 2 of season 1, and this episode is episode 14, entitled The Last 9 Days. So before I go any further, please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this one. We left off, Ichigo finally learned about himself, about his history, his family, who his mom's was, how she really passed away. Also learned, was able to get his new Sanpakuto, which is technically 2 blades. And here we are, episode titled The Last 9 Days, which doesn't really sound all that, sounds very foreboding, doesn't it? Interesting enough, this was marketed as season 2, but it's actually part 2 of season 1. Now, I heard that 1,000 Year Blood was supposed to be 4 parts, right? So eventually, because what anime have been doing now has been doing cours, doing different parts, right? Just like Spy Family. They had the first cour, the second cour. All that was season 1. Same thing with Jobless Reincarnation, right? So now I'm wondering if 1,000 Year Blood War is going to end in 2 seasons. There's a lot they're going to do in these 12 episodes that we're going to get. So it leaves me to wonder. But let's talk about the intro first, the brand new intro. Man, oh man. Excuse me. I gotta, here we go. Gotta look at my phone notes. First of all, I like how it was a juxtaposition, right? And the part of the overlaying thing was dominoes, because, the dominoes were falling down and they would do different backdrops. And we initially would see Ichigo as like Soul Reaper Ichigo, but then it's like human world then. And all the characters, I'm talking about good, bad, or indifferent, are all in the human world doing different stuff, such as Shunsui and his lieutenant. She pours him a drink. He's in a bar. Obviously, Kenpachi's right there in the bar too, and Ichigo's running, and then you have some of the Sternritters, those Quincy's, which, man, just the way there's an assembly held with the Quincy's today. If you couldn't tell that they're based off of a certain group that was in Germany during World War II, you would be blind. You would be blind. Especially one of the names of the place that they're in is like Bereich. I'm like, oh Lord. I digress. Let's talk about this intro. This intro is amazing. The colors are amazing. The way that I love this for Bleach. You guys didn't finish the anime when you should have, when the manga was done. And I'm kind of glad that it's not coming out until right now, till the 2023, the 2022s. Just again, it's the same thing with Rurouni Kenshin 2023. The technology and the way to make anime look good now, and still Studio Perrier is still doing this, and it looks amazing. It looks 10 times better than what they did before, especially with this intro and a great song. And what got me, y'all, is because I've read most of the end of this. I saw an ice part with Rukia that I know is going to be cool, because then that's when, in the intro, that's when stuff starts shifting, and you're like, oh, this is going to show what's going to happen. It's actually just a different distortion of events, such as you got Kenpachi throwing flowers over. Obviously, he's throwing that over for Urahara. May she rest in one piece. I don't think he cut her in half. Then there's Ichigo stopping Uryu from going with Ywach, but obviously he doesn't. And I like the fact that Uryu with a violin equals his bow, and Ichigo with a double-necked guitar is his 2 blades. That's they're fighting for a contender for best animated intro. Let's talk about the episode, because the episode didn't start that way. It started with, we literally get galaxy sperm making a baby, a galaxy baby. And then the galaxy baby has all these hands with cords connected to the galaxy baby, and the galaxy baby, and they start chanting Ywach. Obviously, the galaxy baby turns into the asshole Quincy King, and pardon me. And that is sort of where we began. Apparently, I don't think this episode was supposed to be called The Separation, but just the words The Separation was up there. Now, I'm going to break down this episode into several different parts. We're going to go what's happening in the Royal Palace, what's happening with the Sternritters. I may have written that second, but that's going to go last. And what's going on with Soul Society, Seireitei, and Ichigo's people. So let's start with Royal Palace stuff first, right? Ichigo and Hyosube is the leader of Squad Zero. They're having a conversation because Ichigo got his blades, and he's saying Squad Zero's whole deal is he was saying that after 1,000 years the Soul Reapers got weak. Ichigo's like, yeah, and you just watched. Well, that's our duty, is to simply watch. And our duty is also to train you. And Ichigo's like, yeah, I got to go back because in any minute now, like we said, they're going to attack. He's like, so you must really want to die. Because as you are right now, can't beat him. You cannot fight Ywach. And I like how Ichigo is still respectful, but at the same time going, you all didn't do anything. I enjoy that. I enjoy that a lot. And I'm going to skip back to another Ichigo part. Another Ichigo part is he is going into the special realm. He has to go beyond that of a Soul Reaper. So guy has him leave his blades, and suddenly there's a wooden sword in his hand. And the animation for him going into this special sacred zone that you can only go if you are granted permission by the Soul King. The animation was great for that. He has to walk down this path, and at the end of it, we'll figure out if he can go beyond the power of a Soul Reaper, right? He's got to be stronger than what has already lost, I'm assuming. I'm going to be real. I don't remember reading this, but it's fascinating. And also in the Royal Palace, Renji and Rukia are training, and the way they're trained, they're just kind of facing one another. And they both kind of fall out after, like, I think some type of loud explosion goes off. And Renji's just like, this is pretty tough. How is it tough just staring at one another? Rukia, you know that boy got the hots for you. Stop playing. But she gets a call from Kieran. Byakuya is up and running. He's up and he's healed. And he is going, this Byakuya, you know how to grab and steal speech of the episode, right? He's always a contender because he says some of the coolest stuff by far. Where am I at here? Oh no. Oh, I made a mistake and didn't start. So basically, Kieran asks him, you know, he tells him, you've been in there longer than anybody has ever been in the hot spring. How you feeling? Did the heat go to your head? And Byakuya flat out says, well, I realize that with my feeble power, I don't have the luxury of letting anything go to my head. And he says, now that he has survived, he needs to gain power strong enough that he can let it go to his head. And Kieran's all like, yeah, boy. And I'm like, yeah, boy. That's my dude. Where are we at? I already did the special zone. Apparently, and gotta say this guy's name right. Hyosube. When Rukia and Renji are talking about Byakuya being up, and Renji going, so when did you exchange numbers with him? That is funny as hell. That is funny. And if you know, it's funny. And he goes, wow, you two were pretty chatty. When you first got here, you could barely stand. You were crouching all on the floor. And I love it when they show, not tell. We see them both sweating still. And they can only manage to be down on the ground and not stand up. I guess the spiritual pressure was too much. And he has invited them to train with him out in the back. So, you know, our favorites are going to get strong and are going to be able to whoop some Quincy butt. Byakuya, Ichigo, Renji, Rukia. Feels like there's someone missing. Doesn't it feel like there's always someone missing there? Oh, yeah. Where's Kenpachi? Oh, yeah, he's in Soul Society. He would be there too if he did. I don't remember. I thought he got his butt kicked pretty hard too. But I guess not bad as bad as all of them that needed to leave, and that's how he has his mankind and his name, his sword, and all that stuff. Right. We got to put the pieces back together so we can remember this. Now let's talk about Soul Society and Ichigo's friends. Let's talk about them for a little bit. Make sure I didn't put anything away. Okay, so into Soul Society, we have Shunsui. Shunsui is literally, he knows that Ichigo is going through that special training, and he questions if they're doing what's right for Ichigo, which his lieutenant goes, he goes, yeah, just ignore that I said that. We should get going. And where he gets going to is the human world. I won't say the real world, but the human world, where Ichigo's friends, Orihime, Chad, all their friends are wondering, man, so you haven't seen him. And I think the girl with the black hair, I'm trying to remember if that's Ichigo's sister. I don't think that's Ichigo's sister. I know I'm not gonna front you all. Like, the human friends, I never really cared about them, so I keep forgetting who these people are. But the three of them, right? They're just wondering where they are, and they've been gone for a while. And Shunsui shows up and says, man, you guys are actually right on the money. And they remember him. They don't know his name, but they're like, yeah, you're the captain of 8 Squad. And he's very friendly. Like, I'm flattered that you remember me, and I didn't even introduce myself. And he goes to tell them, you gotta start preparing to say bye to Ichigo. What you talking about, Willis? Well, what he's talking about is Ichigo's going through a special training. He's going through a special thing. And if he comes back with power that is too strong to stay on Earth, they can't let him come back. And there's a lot of tension here because you have the one friend. You got to get yourself a friend like this. This dude is reading him, saying, so you got him up here doing stuff for you all, getting stronger for you all, and there's a chance he can't even come back home. And he even grabs him by the shirt, and he's like, that's right. He's getting ready to sock him one. And the more, I hate to call him timid, but the more timid friend with the black hair, he says, well, hold on. How likely is this? Easily stopping this. And I love the fact that Shunsui could easily, like, put this kid on his butt, but he doesn't, because he's accepting responsibility of all these things. And he said, what's the possibility? He's like, it's like 1 in 10,000, honestly. And him and the other girl, I'm trying to remember if this girl has the hots for Orihime or not. Can't remember if this is her or not, or if this is his sister, but she looks like Ichigo. A lot of the characters look samey. She looks like Ichigo and Rukia. But she says, so what's the point of you telling us all this, telling us something that might not happen? And Shunsui says, it's not really fair to Ichigo if we don't tell his friends what could happen to him, is it? So, trying to be prepared no matter what happens. And with that being said, he gives them all passes that allow them to go to Soul Society in the event that Ichigo has to stay there. And he tells him, don't look down. It hasn't happened yet. I'm just covering my bases. And I appreciate that. He's already doing better than Yamato. Sorry, Yamamoto. Sorry, Yamamoto. But the boy's thinking ahead, and he's thinking of what's best for Ichigo and his people. Meanwhile, we're talking about Ichigo's friends now. Meanwhile, Orihime and Chad are going to train. Kisuke, he's going to watch them via, I think, one of the Ankara that with them. They got Pesci and Nail. Can't remember the name of the skinny one. I'm going to call him Crow. Like Crow T-Robot. I'm Crow. So he's going to watch them via that because they're trying to get stronger too, because they got their butts whooped by the Quincy as well. So everybody needs to get their stuff together. Everyone's got to get their act in order. And while they're doing their training thing, we get to see Nell and her people Nell being cute, being adorable, kind of doing like a Karate Kid stance, just getting ready. Or he was saying this is really peaceful, and Chad's like, I don't get it. Well, we're in Hueco Mundo, working with Ankara, training to protect Soul Society. It would be nice if everybody was always on the same page and were allies, and there wouldn't be any battles to begin with. And I like that. I like how she starts off not making sense, because even I said, please enlighten me. but it makes sense. If everybody was in this mode of helping one another, they probably wouldn't have these situations. Granted, Quincy seem like they're the ones that started. And I love how the Quincy propaganda train started early on with their part, but we're not getting to them yet. Make sure I have all of this. And a part that is actually important, Shinji calls Momo Hinamori his lieutenant. He calls her from Soul Society and is asking her, and their relationship is so funny because he's like, I'm bowing my head, I'm asking you to help. And she's like, I can tell through the phone you're not bowing your head. And he's like, please, I'm asking you for help. And a package from Soul Society gets there, and it's to repair the distortion that is between the human world and Soul Society. So her and the wizards that are still there, that aren't like captains and stuff, they're gonna fix what's going on there. And that's what's going on that side. And let's talk about the Sternritter. First things first, we get the assembly where Ywach basically tells them, super propaganda. We say, they savagely attacked us and killed us. I'm like, no, you all went over to them, and then they savagely beat y'all. Y'all got a lot of y'all died, but you all did the thing first, because the way you do things causes a disruption in all of the universe that could destroy everybody. And y'all kept not doing that. And you brought the fight to them, and they just handled it. That's it. I'm just saying, that's how it goes. And as he's giving this speech, he introduces Uryu Ishida. Now all of the Sternritters and the Shrift, those are the ones with the special letters, and everybody, they're all kind of up in arms, like, wait, who is this guy? Yeah, I don't know. Why is he on the same stage as Lord Ywach? Well, he says that, yeah, this guy here, he's my successor. I'm not going to take anybody protesting it. Do not be concerned about this. And I'm like, ooh, y'all can't even if y'all wanted to raise your voice, he would probably just murder you, right? And so, that being said, they leave. We are treated to just how sadistic these people, how weird and sadistic these people are. Not just their names are weird, but you get the one girl, Bambi, who goes to a guy who's like, I'm in a bad mood. Go to my chambers. And he's like, oh, okay, it'll be a pleasure. Dude does have his shirt off, and she is showing the massive booby cleavage, to which she cleaved this dude in half. Like, just the sound of his body pulling apart and the viscous blood and his scream. And then you just like zip. The other girls are coming, and they're like, you're making a mess. She's like, at least I did it in my room, right? And they're saying, yeah, but you have to control your urge to kill hot guys. Serial killer. I'm finding it hard to find any Quincy's besides Uryu that are not murderous bastards. Yeah. And thus they bring up Baz B, Mr. Mohawk, because Mr. Mohawk was causing a ruckus, looking at I'm guessing Hyosube, the right hand man to the king, the guy with the big ass blade. I guess his first name is Jugo maybe, but he was looking at Jugo like, what is the meaning of this? And they were locking eyes. It's like they were fighting without fighting. And Baz B is throwing a conniption, and they're all saying, why don't you join him, because he's upset. And so they're all fighting and wondering who is this guy. And one of the tiniest of them goes, if we knew what was going on, we all wouldn't be upset. The only person who could tell us is the king himself, and ain't nobody finna ask him a question. And then we get some interactions between them, slut shaming, blah 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 blah, things of that nature. And when Jugo shows up, and Baz B, I hate that name, it just reminds me of a weird, it sounds like a member of a early 2000s boy group. If you know, you know. And Baz B is basically saying to him, if you were named the successor, Jugo, everybody would be okay with it. You don't even seem upset about it. And he flat out goes, whatever the king says goes. Dude's very just, he reminds me of Byakuya. I wish he was the guy Byakuya had fought and not the weirdo. And he's just like, yeah, whatever the king says goes. And Baz B goes, all right, then give me your position. Since you don't want to fight for this, I'll fight you for it. You need to calm down. Oh, I am calm. Dude's ready to swipe at him. He goes in, and one of their own, this guy's name, I had to write this down. This name is so dumb. It's Nak Levar. If you just wanted to say LeVar Burton, you could have just weird names. And whatever little purple ball goo he has, he's like, oh yeah, you are thinking clearly because you didn't just rush head in. There's no point in fighting. Fighting breeds toxicity. And what's done is done. And he looks at Jugo and calls him, he says, ain't that right, future emperor? Still basically saying, we're not going to fight about it, but we still think it's going to be you. And meanwhile, all this is going on. Uryu engages in a ritual where after dude uses the Quincy cross to put his blood in the cup, you got to drink the blood. And he's asking, why did you name me your successor? Flat out, because Uryu is the only Quincy to survive the Osharin. Don't care if I said that right or not. It's the thing that, hey, I take everybody's powers and I don't care if you die. Only Quincy in history to have survived it. And that's how Uryu's mom died. And so, Ywach is saying to him, you should know the reason why. And Ywach is confirming a lot of things that Uryu's grandfather wrote in that book that he read. He says, yeah, that's okay. Then that pretty much confirms everything. And as he's thinking, I know that there could be no peace with soul reapers, and we gotta eliminate them. He drinks the Kool-Aid, which is supposed to unlock his potential. And Ywach says, "I'm gonna show you your future." Asked him, and the thing he asked him about was the Kaiser Gesang, but that's later. That's a little bit later. What ends up happening is we get a nice little picture of the Seireitei Soul Society. We see the kid holding a hand and the pinwheels. All of a sudden, Soul Society is gone. There's a distorted bubble over it. Doesn't even look like the same place. The Quincy's are beginning their attack. And when Ywach asks Uryu, does he know the Kaiser Gesang? Jisang, whatever. It's the Quincy King after 900 years gets his pulse, his mind after 90, and his strength after 9 years. And he says there's one more part to that song. It's all of that, and in 9 days he gets the world. So he says, yeah, welcome to the last 9 days of this world. And his troops move in, and that's when we get that cool ass. I love how they're doing the titles as opposed to doing the titles in the beginning. And if they do the titles in the beginning, they're melded in with the background. Just the splattering of the last 9 days was so cool. Trying to make sure I didn't forget anything. I did forget a little bit. On top of Uryu being the successor, he gets the same letter as Ywach. He said he is A, so he is the head honcho. He is number one. Number one. And that is what happened in this episode. A lot of interesting, shocking stuff going on here. Just Ichigo is getting yet another power up, a double power up. Again, this has been an issue for his character, being a bit of a Mary Sue, but I can forgive this just because the visuals is really hard for me to be nitpicky at this point. I almost forgot one of my favorite parts of these episodes ending is the haikus. The haikus are back. Believe this one is Rukia because it says freezing created from synergy quells the impact of his burning blade. Next episode is going to be called Peace from Shadows. Okay. Okay, I'm giving this a solid 4. Tempted to give it a 4.5. It's not like nothing too major happened. This is again a building block episode going, hey, these guys are getting stronger. We're getting ready for the next battle. But looks like tragedy is striking early. Again, I sincerely hope that they get their lick back. Y'all get your lick back. Although I know where a lot of this is going to go. So hopefully y'all get your lick back. Pay attention to that new intro. That new intro kind of gives away one of the battles. Someone gets revenge for someone close to them. I won't say who until it happens, but yeah, all out solid episode. Not average, wasn't boring. We did a lot of covering bases, and even though I personally don't care about Ichigo's friends, I can appreciate going, hey, ever wonder if these guys wonder why their friends are missing for a long period of time? That's why. I'm also doubting Uryu's motivations, although he has said for a long time ago we can't get along with the Quincy, but he thinks of his friend Ichigo, who literally tries to get along with him every step of the way. There's got to be a bigger plan to this. I mean, when he read the book, you would initially think, oh, he read about how crappy the Soul Reapers were. Now he really is going to get them now that there's more of his people out there. I don't know, man. Hearing that some jackass awakened and led to your mom dying, in addition to your buddy's mom dying too, also remembering that technically now they are cousins. In a way, they are cousins. So, and also we gotta pay. Look at, you got the red Ichigo and the blue Ishida. I can't lie though, those cloaks the Sternritters wear, man. Why do bad guys who emulate the Hugo Boss look, why they always look cool? But hey, that looks cool too. Wait, there we go. That looks cool too. So 4 out of 5 from me. High, I can give it a high 4, maybe a 4.5. I enjoyed it. A lot of lines in here kind of made me go ooh, and that killing that dude it got a reaction out of me. So mission accomplished. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, please. I genuinely want to know what do you think. Have you been enjoying all the episodes so far? I'm dreading if we're gonna have any more losses. Anybody? I feel like some people died, like some notable people died last time. I feel like they did, and if my memory serves correctly, we're gonna see some more notable people die. I'm going to put that intro and outro in the description down below. Thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about Bleach. Please be good, be blessed. Wash them hands. Take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. All right? Make sure you reach out to someone if you're having a hard time. Ain't no shame in that. All right? There's people that rather talk to you today than tomorrow and you miss you tomorrow. My social medias are in the description below as well. Until next time, guys, I'm Shane. Oh, boy.